Needless to say, Breath of the Wild is freaking fantastic. Even for someone like me who really isn't a fan of the Zelda games, it is nothing short of incredible. Seeing the trailer to Eternal Edge Plus, it reminded me a lot of Legend of Zelda, and I figured this looks like something to check out. Was I right in taking the time to check this demo out? Or should I have passed up on this and stick with Breath of the Wild? Before we begin, I would like to state that I did receive a code from CDOC LLC to take a look at this title. While I appreciate the free code, it will not deter me from a fair and honest review. So the game recommends the use of a controller, and once again, I was having issues with the Xbox 360 controller. I then swapped it out for another 360 controller and I was still having issues. I don't understand what's the issue with these games I've been reviewing lately and why I keep having controller issues. It seems to have no problem when I play Monster Hunter World and the Dark Souls series, so who knows at this point. Thankfully, mouse and keyboard controls work well enough, so good on the devs for that. The game starts off with a tutorial to get you acclimated to the combat. The combat is a lot of fun, but definitely has its flaws. For one, you do have a good amount of tools at your disposal with one-handed and two-handed weapons, plus shields, bombs, and even a freaking gun. Next, Breath of the Wild, Link should be able to use all manner of guns. Give him a flintlock, a double-barreled shotgun, and he should be good to go. The dodging mechanics and blocking all feel solid, but the issue happens once you start swinging. For some reason, your character is locked in place as you attack your enemy. You can still move when using a gun, but one-handed and two-handed weapons have your character stand still like he's glued to the floor. It feels odd, and while I did get used to it, it took away from the enjoyment. Connecting with the enemies and defeating them does feel solid, but there unfortunately are some hit detection issues. Not sure what it is with these Unity engine games, but they seem to have this issue. After the tutorial, you'll find out that it's all a dream. Your wife is in a coma and your job is to try and save her. This begins the adventure of Cross, the name of your character. Gotta be honest here, the plot sounds like it was ripped straight from Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, back in the NES days. Just replace your wife with Zelda and you'll be all set. You then walk out unarmed and the world is basically open to you at that point. The graphics are very nice, and exploring the open world definitely has that Breath of the Wild feel to it, with you going in any direction and the various treasure chests and secrets you can find. This said open world also contains events you can participate in. Standing in these presents a mission that basically involves taking down either one or a ton of enemies. These can be enjoyable and can net a pretty good reward of loot and experience points. Speaking of leveling up, it is done automatically, but the world also contains essence, which you can apply by sleeping at a campsite. Sleeping at a campsite also doubles down as a saving location. And speaking of campsites, you can choose to wake up during the day or at night. Currently, I'm not too sure what the day and night cycle serves in this game, but it's there. As with any RPG, you'll find quests talking to various NPCs. There are your main quests as well as side quests. Unfortunately, there isn't really a way to determine what is a side or main quest, but you may be able to figure it out. This is mainly due to the way these quest givers come across. It feels more like an MMO with quests to obtain rather than a living, breathing world. It could also be due to the samey nature of these quests of killing X monster or grabbing X item from somewhere. Crafting is also an element present in this game. You can make various weapons, armor, and shields. It's pretty simple to learn and understand. Gather the materials necessary to create what you want. It works well enough and you can make some pretty badass equipment as well as ammo for your gun. Like I said before, this game does have a huge Legend of Zelda influence, not only with the story, but also with some of the dungeons. I mean, just look at this. This is straight up NES Zelda. While I appreciate developers taking influence and paying homage to their inspirations, you don't always have to copy every element of it. But in this dungeon is where I really noticed the flaws with movement in this game. Turning and jumping is so delayed and made simple platforming far more difficult than necessary. I fell quite a few times trying to jump these gaps. Since this is just a demo, glitches are to be expected, and there are a good amount of them. One in particular was when I opened up a chest from behind and got stuck. I couldn't get out of this one, so I exited the game. Overall, I'm curious where this game is going to go. While it lacks a lot of polish at the moment, the systems in place show great potential. The open world looks to be pretty huge, and exploring it to find its treasures and secrets is fun. The combat, while flawed, is enjoyable. It's set to be released later this year, and hopefully it can deliver. Thank you guys for watching as always. Hope everyone is staying safe, and this is Powerhouse, signing off.